Hey guys, welcome back to another video from Undercover Citizens. This time we are going to do a game of the week, which will be, we will pick a game, or you guys can request a game for us to do. We'll play in the background and kind of talk over how we think the game's going to go, and also fantasy guys in the game. This week we have chosen the Indianapolis.
Fantasy football. That sounds funny when you said fantasy guys.
Yeah.
Yes, fantasy football, go over the players of each game, kind of like, you know, pretty much what your fantasy football predictions say. Predict how the players will do in each game.
Mm-hmm. And this time we're doing the Colts and Broncos, which will be the Sunday Night Football game
this week.
Like I said, leave a comment, and we'll try to get to other games that you think we should do next week.
Yep. Or anything you're curious about, or, you know, just want something reviewed.
Mm-hmm. We'll try to get these videos up the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're not quite sure when the schedule will be out.
Yeah, let us know.
Yes. First, we are going to be talking about the Indianapolis Colts' offense.
Yep. They have very good players all around, which is no secret. Seeing what they did with Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning, that whole thing. And everyone already knows Andrew Luck will be a great quarterback. He's shown it as a rookie. He was, you know, as far as rookies go, they have to start their rookie year pretty good. As far as fantasy goes, he is what would you say? He's definitely top 10, that's for sure.
He's definitely top 10. I would go to say he's for sure top 7. Could he crack the top 5 this season? I think yes.
Really?
Yes, because if you go to the top 5, Peyton Manning, Breeze, Rodgers, then what?
Brady.
But Brady's not in top 5. Brady's in the bottom half of the 5.
Oh, come on.
Says all the fantasy people.
Oh, come on. Oh, okay, right. Okay, we're talking about fantasy points again.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, okay, sure. So
top 5.
We all know Andrew Luck's great. You know, everyone knows he's mobile. He can pass. He has size. He doesn't fumble too much. He doesn't have a problem getting turnovers. So the one thing is, what about like his receivers? What about his weapons, his running backs? Who helps him be good? And that's maybe another. I mean, he does have a veteran Reggie Wayne, so that's great for a rookie to have. But you know, Reggie Wayne is old, and
he's not a number one fantasy receiver in fantasy football anymore.
He was great. He was actually really great. With Peyton Manning, even with Andrew Luck early on, but now, you know, he's older, but he still knows his stuff. He's still out there playing football with all these other guys, and, you know, so far as that goes, I guess, yeah, T.Y. Hilton, he could be great.
They're both mid-range wide receivers in fantasy football.
Right, unless T.Y. like starts taking off, he's not going to be, you know, that number one starter you're always going to have.
But someone's
getting touchdowns
from Andrew Luck, and it will be one of those two guys. Their tight ends, Dwayne Allen and Kobe Fleener, have not established themselves yet.
But they're always good.
But they're good.
But that's what's great about, you know, having a good quarterback. You're going to have good receivers. He'll make them good.
Definitely, yeah. And their running back, Trent Richardson. Terrible year last year.
Some problems, I would say. Definitely.
Many a problem. But I feel like he could have a bounce-back year. This game, how do you think the Colts will fare fantasy-wise? I mean, the Denver Broncos have a very good defense. They have Talib, they have T.J. Ward, Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware.
Yeah, DeMarcus got hurt though, didn't he?
Yeah.
Still, it's a solid squad. It's not an easy team for an offense to go against, unless the offense knows who they are, knows exactly what they can do. And I guess that was the main problem with Trent Richardson last year, was he kind of went in mid-season, early season, and had to kind of adjust a lot to a new scheme and everything. So I guess I wouldn't pin everything against him for having such a horrible fantasy year last year, but, you know, hopefully we see some good production from this year.
Yeah.
I think I have him in one league.
For this game, I would say start Luck. Don't start Richardson. And it depends on your wide receivers if you start Wayne and T.Y. Hilton.
If you have a third wide receiver flex or anything, I think T.Y. would be an okay start.
Yeah, I would
Even
agree.
Reggie, I would think, would be okay.
Yeah. So now, Denver Broncos. Quarterback, Peyton Manning. I mean, we don't really need to say anything.
Yeah.
He's the number one quarterback in the league.
He's
done.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not even going to...
If you got him, don't feel bad about taking him.
Start him every week. And he will...
Even his bye week.
Start him. He'll probably get points. We never know. Wide receivers. Demaryius Thomas. He's probably the second best receiver in the league.
Second best fantasy value receiver, because he'll get the throws, he gets the catches. I just hope, like, you don't think the opposite, where Eric Decker made Demaryius good. You think Demaryius made Eric Decker good.
I think Peyton Manning made them all good.
That's true, but
Demarius Thomas
Covering
is a
everyone.
big, fast receiver.
He is big.
And he was going against number
He's not
ones every
fast.
week.
He's big.
He was going against the number one corners. Not Jordy Nelson. Eric Decker was not going against those corners.
Right. That's what I mean. So there is a lot of things, but I'm sure Demarius will be just as good as last year.
Yes. Now, the biggest, arguably the most important person you probably should go after on this Denver team, and the easiest to acquire, is Emmanuel Sanders.
Their number 2 receiver.
Their number 2 receiver.
Coming from?
The Steelers.
Yes.
Decker is gone, and Wes Welker suspended the first 4 games. Even if he wasn't suspended, you wanted Emmanuel Sanders. 1, Peyton Manning. 2, Demarius are drawing coverage. 3, Julius Thomas, their great tight end, is drawing coverage.
Even 4, Wes Welker drawing coverage. Mm-hmm. So, it's going to be another, who is Peyton going to pass to? Like last year, he had so many people to pass to, so many weapons. Everything's great. But no, definitely Emmanuel Sanders. I really wish I had started getting him more in other leagues. He's never had a bad year, even with Antonio Brown and the Steelers. He's always had solid years.
Mm-hmm. Julius Thomas, tight end, probably the top 5 tight end in the league. Like we said, Manning is going to get him the ball a lot.
Top 3.
We don't really need to talk about him. Another big sleeper on this team is Monty Ball. Noshawn Moreno had 1,000 yards rushing, 10 touchdowns last year.
Yeah.
Someone has to pick up
on an offense that also had 5,000 something yards passing. So
running backs with Peyton Manning do great. Monty Ball will do great. Now starters, Broncos.
Everyone.
Yes.
I'm not everyone.
If you have a Denver Bronco, Emmanuel Sanders, Thomas, either of the Thomases, if you went, Peyton Manning, Monty Ball.
Even if you went running back heavy, Emmanuel Sanders, number 2 receiver, fine. He's pretty much a number 1 receiver on an offense that scores as much as the Denver Broncos have been scoring.
Mm-hmm. We both believe that Emmanuel Sanders could reach amazing numbers this year. Definitely fantasy number 2. Probably not number 1, depending on what happens, but you start Emmanuel Sanders until he proves you wrong. Same with Monty Ball, I would say.
Especially he should be going after, against the number 2 corner.
Mm-hmm. And this game overall, I think Indianapolis, their Colts' defense isn't good enough to keep up with the Broncos, and I think the Broncos will definitely prevail, like they did in this video that we made, even though we threw all the interceptions. We both agree that the Broncos will win.
The Broncos should win. That's clear.
Mm-hmm. So, that's pretty much what this series is going to be about. Us talking about guys we think that are good in fantasy. We can make a longer video talk about other teams, but we definitely want to let you guys know to tell us what you want us to do. And we can get that done for you. Any other games for next week, week 2, leave them in the comments down below, and we'll try to review that game for Game of the Week. We're looking for the bigger games.
Yeah, so not just Madden team reviews, but, maybe real-life team reviews, what players are like, how fantasy's doing, stuff like that.
Well, that is it, guys, for our first episode of this series. We hope to do it throughout the rest of the season.
Yep.
Thanks.
All right. See you guys.